My name is Major Martin Robinson Delany. I'm with the 104th United States Colored Troops. I'm here at the National Civil War Museum today telling my story and how I became the highest ranking colored Civil War officer in the Union Army. The war was about slavery, and basically that's how I became a major. My grandfather was murdered by slavers because he wouldn't submit to them. My father, I seen, was hit with a rock just before he was about to be shot. And I seen that at an early age. And just the plight of my people through the 1800s and into the years of the Civil War. I came up with a plan for the end of the Civil War to bring it to a close. And I took that plan to President Lincoln. And that plan was to go into the interior of the South with black officers and black enlisted men or freed slaves taken off of plantations and bring the Southern war machine, cripple it, and bring it to an end. President Lincoln thought that was a great idea, and he commissioned me right on the spot when I met him in the chambers at the White House. He had known of me prior with my experience as a newspaperman and being one of the first 3 blacks to go to Harvard Medical School. President Lincoln kept his ear to the ground. He knew what was going on pretty much in antebellum. So when I introduced him myself, he already said, "I know who you are, Mr. Delaney." But anyway, Frederick Douglass and I had a newspaper called the Northern Star, and I had one previous to that called The Mystery. And I was out promoting anti-slavery forums and holding conferences through the Northeast. And I was pretty well known just for that fact. Me and Frederick Douglass, I call him Fred, me and Fred also had a circuit. Matter of fact, we were right here in Harrisburg on a few occasions promoting freedom for our people. Later on in life, I moved on. At the end of the war, I started the Freedmen's Bureau. Matter of fact, it was at the very end of the war, started the Freedmen's Bureau. And what that was it was a go-between between the planters, which were the old plantation owners, and the newly freed slaves. You see, the freed slaves had to have work, and they also had property at that time after the war, since they were emancipated and the war was over. They needed somebody to sell their crop to. The planters needed somebody to do the work since they were no longer slaves. So I was the go-between between the slaves and the planters, and it was called the Freedmen's Bureau. That went on successful for about 4 or 5 years until President Johnson got in the office, and he disbanded it. From there, I went on into political service. I became a judge, and I just missed lieutenant governor. Just missed being lieutenant governor of South Carolina just by a few votes. Overall, my career was pretty highlighted, I would say, from the time that I was born till the time that I died in 1884. And that's my story.